When we're playing Minesweeper, obviously the object of the game is to try to avoid hitting mines. When we do decide to select a square, a hit's going to reveal one of three things. The first thing it could be is a mine, which is really bad because that ends the game for us. Another possibility is an open space, which is good because it gives us less space to clear. And the third possibility is a number, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or even higher. But the number tells us is, okay, how many mines are on the side. So, for example, we have 2 right here. We know that 2 of these squares that have not been cleared on the border of this square with the 2 on it have mines in them. In this example here, the number 3 tells us that there are 3 mines, and we don't know which combination there are, but there are 3 mines on the sides. Now with this one right here that has 4, that tells us that there are 4 mines on the sides. We don't know which ones there are, but we'll have to figure that out through a process of elimination and overlap as we go. Now if we look at this example right here, and I'm going to zoom in on this spot right here, okay, we see right here, we know that there is 1 mine somewhere in this area right here. And we want to figure out how we can do that. Well, we look at the first one right here, and I've highlighted in yellow. And there are 2 possible borders to that. Obviously, the top one you can't see, but the top 2 ones are blank. So, okay, we know that one of these 2 has a mine in it. We look at the one on the right, in yellow right there. We know that one of these 3 squares has a mine in it. Now, if you'll notice that these 2 have one spot that overlaps, and that happens to be this square right here. So we know that there is a mine there because there's overlap. And we also further can deduce that these spots right here are safe because we know that there can only be 1 mine on the ones we looked at. So what we try to do is try to look for areas that have overlap and areas that are safe, and then we just use the process of elimination as we go down. Obviously, this is a simple example. It can get a little more complicated as we go down. So let's take a look at this example right here, and I'm going to zoom in on that. Now we see, okay, this one has one of the squares, one of the 2 squares is a mine. So we know one of these 2 squares is a mine. Now if we look at this one, we know that one of the squares bordered in is a mine, and there's only 1 square border, so we know that is a mine. So if you look at this yellow square right here, we know that this one's a mine, and the other 2 ones that are bordered in it, and I've highlighted those in blue, those are safe squares. Now if you go back to this other one in yellow I've highlighted right here, we know that this one on the border is a mine because we checked earlier. And we know the bottom one right here, now they put in blue, that is a safe square as well. So between these 2, these 3 blue squares are safe, so we can hit all of those squares and we shouldn't have to worry about anything. Now if you look at the 2 on the bottom, we know that the one in red is a mine, and we know that one of these other 4 squares that I've highlighted in green are also a mine, but we don't know which one. Now, one of the ones we can eliminate here because we know that, okay, well, this one's safe. The one I'm showing in blue there is safe, so we know that one of these 3 are mine. And that's the basic process you use when you're playing the Minesweeper game. Some of them get a little more complicated. The ones are simpler. The 2s and 3s can get fairly complicated, but you use the same type of process as you move forward through the game. And a couple of things to point out here, and we're going to look at these 2 things. First off, you can right-click twice for areas that you want to review later, and that'll leave a question mark on it. So if you're unsure on something, you can just right-click on it twice, and that'll leave a question mark. And you can right-click once for areas that you think are mines, but you just want to make sure about or schematically think because you can't store all that stuff in your brain. And as always, if you find that the level is too challenging, if you go to the spot that says game, and if you scroll down to this spot I've highlighted in yellow, you can switch to beginner, intermediate, expert, or customize it to whatever style game fits your needs or fits your skill level. That way you can win more often. And that essentially wraps up our tutorial for Minesweeper tips. Thank you for watching.